Hey everybody, this is the second part of me building Super To Do. So right now I'm working on the Backend API and trying to get that all set. And basically what I want to do now is kind of get the middleware all in order. So basically the way I want to do that is that instead of just putting all that logic here, I want to actually just write one single function that just kind of does all of that. So I'm going to right here, just call it, we'll just call it, I'll just call it middleware. That's what I usually do, middleware.js. Okay, and then here basically what we're going to do is we're going to import, I'm going to want Morgan in here. Okay, I am going to want cores in here. Import, I just want cores from cores. I'm going to want, do I need express in here? Yeah, I think I might need an express in here. For the JSON module, I don't need .env here theoretically. So probably not a bad idea just to call that function just in case. So yep, there we go. And then essentially what I'm doing here is I'm running a function. So export default function. And this function will take in the application object and we'll be able to register all our routes. And literally exactly as it's saying, I'm going to register Morgan. Okay, so again, that's going to do our logging for us. Then we're going to have our cores permissions. Actually, I like that note better. Okay, yep. JSON, parse JSON. We don't need this. So we can take that out. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. And then I can go back and register my routers here and any other middleware I'll need down the road. But for now, that's good. So I can go register that now over here. So I can go import middleware. And then we just literally take that middleware function and we pass it the app object, and then that's taken care of. Okay. Because that's just going to take that existing object and just register all those different pieces to it. So that's set. Okay. Now what I want is to create my database connection. So I'm going to create a new file here in my DB folder, connection.js. And what I want to do here is import mongoose. Okay, again, I should probably do the .env thing again here just in case. Although I think the order that I'll have this should be good. There we go, and then that's going to give me that. And I think that's all I want there. I'm going to just go declare that database URL. Thank you. And then what I'm going to want to do is establish the connection. Okay, so mongoose dot connection. Nope, not dot connection. Dot connect. There we go. Thank you. I don't think I need any properties for that, so this should work. And then I'm going to want to establish all those connection events. So like mongoose. Okay, it knows exactly what I want to do. Okay, and then I want to do perfect. And then I want to do that. Perfect. So basically what this is saying is that, hey, when the Mongo database connects, do this. It's going to just print out that message. So that way I have some sort of message in my terminal to know that the database was successfully connected. And then I'm going to want to export default mongoose because we're going to use it for making schemas and stuff later. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just going to want to test that out. So I'm just going to run that file to see if the connection is made successfully. So I'm going to just do node db/connection.js. And as long as I see the mongoose connection message pop up, then it does it. The file does its job. Okay, and good. It's connected successfully. Okay, perfect. So we'll just cancel that out. Control C. Cool. So that does its job. And again, I'm going to export the connection here. Cool. Okay, and then what I'm going to want to do is start creating my models. Okay, so we're going to have a couple different models. We're going to have users. Okay, so we'll have users and people sign up and they become users. Then they'll be able to have to-do lists, but to-do lists can be then organized into categories. Okay, so let's start thinking through our model. So new file. What I'm going to do is to make this a little faster. I'm going to cd into the models folder. And then I'm going to touch user.js, to-do.js, and category.js. Okay, so that way I don't have to right click and click all that stuff now. Cd back up into the parent folder there. Okay, and let's start with user. So for all three of them, I need to import Mongoose, but not any Mongoose, the one that came from my connection file. So that way it's the already connected Mongoose file. Okay, and that should be good for the moment. And basically what I need to do is create a schema. So const, this case is user schema equals new mongoose.schema. That's correct. Okay, and then I'm going to want things like username, which is going to be a string. Yep, but actually it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that. It needs to be, yep, exactly. It needs to be a string. It needs to be required because you need to have a username, and every username has to be different. Now, password, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit different. Okay. Everyone needs a password, but it doesn't have to be unique. Two people can have the same password. Okay, and that's all I really care about here. Okay. Cool. Now let me just think if there's anything else I really want to track there. At the moment, no. And then we're going to create our model. Const user equals mongoose.models. That's exactly right. And then we're going to want to export default that model. Perfect. Okay. Cool. And then I'm just going to literally copy this over. Save time. We'll do. Now, which one do I want to do first? Let me think about this. Okay. Okay, so let's do category first. So we're gonna have category schema. So I'm just gonna change all the places where that should be category to that category, and then all the places that should become category capitalized. We'll take care of that. Perfect. And then we want to export category. Okay, and then a category should have to-dos associated with it. So to-dos, which is that's exactly right. We're going to use mongoose.schema that types. It's going to be associated with an array of object IDs. There could be multiple to-dos that are associated with it. And there are going to be multiple users who can access this. Okay, which will refer to the user IDs because again, I want to create it where you can actually share access to the to-dos. Actually, is that where I want to track that? I mean, it could go either way. I could go then I have to just check, hey, is this user accessible to that category? Or I can just say each user has access to these certain categories. Debating which ways this makes more sense. I mean, I guess either way is fine, so we'll keep it like that. Okay. So we'll leave it at that. So that works for me because all the category is really just going to be like, okay, these to-dos are in this category. These users can access this category. And then, a user can create a category and they'll be the initial user and I'll have no to-dos, but then they'll be able to share it with others and then they'll be able to see that. Cool. And basically ownership of the to-dos is really based on ownership of the category. Okay, so anyone who has access to the category can then manipulate the to-dos. That'll be sort of like the chain of ownership here. I don't want to get too granular where I then check who created which to-do and only they can access that to-do in that category. We're not going to make it that granular. Cool. Now to-do. Okay, so I'll just go copy this over. And again, let's go change the parts that should just be to-do lowercase. To-do schema. Okay, let's change the places where it should be uppercase singular, the model name. It's going to be here. And then each to-do will have a subject. And whether it's completed. Okay, cool. And that actually works for me. Cool. Okay. Neat. So now we'll start creating our services. Okay, where we can summarize a lot of the actions that we want to do with different things. Okay, so for example, let's go cd into services. And I think at this point it's probably a good place to stop this video. So yep, I'm going to stop this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.